Hello everyone, we're looking at this inner wing flitch panel. So I've got it offered up into position, loads of clamps on there, really have to apply a lot of force in this direction. So I'm clamping from this plate to here in a couple of ways, also clamping there with that using, I'm not too sure what that is. I don't think that's supposed to be there on my car. But anyway, applying lots of force in this direction means I could get these holes to line up and get those bolts in there, and you see these holes pretty much line up as well. Right, I better check these inner wings here. Make sure that they're on exactly the same level on both sides. Now we've got this offered up, we just want to make sure it is in the right place. So I thought I'd put a spirit level across the cross member there, and then I've got a straight edge. I'll just put that on the top of the inner wings, butt that up against the hinges there. Then I've got to bring the car up so that this is level on that bubble. We'll just lean on this side until it's level. Looks to be about there. Then we'll place another level on and make sure we're right. Put that on there. Make the noise. Just kidding. But see, the bubble is in the middle, matching up with the other one there. So yeah, I think we're good to carry on. One of the most hateful jobs of the whole procedure. Okay, so fitting pretty well everywhere, just getting this flitch panel onto the floor now. There's a slight alignment issue. Now, I don't really want to point blame because generally the end machine floors have been brilliant, but there is a slight problem with the distance between the floor and naturally where the flitch panel comes to. And I think it's got to do with where they have pre-welded on the outer sill. Bring the light up. Hopefully you can see, but if you see the edge of this indentation here to the edge of the flute there, if I just measure that, hang on, that's pretty much zeroed. If I measure that distance there, so the edge of the indentation to the edge of the flute there, we're about 12 mil, maybe 13. If we come down to look at the other side, which was pretty much perfect, that same gap there is 23 mil. So there's a 10 mil difference in where they've lined up this onto the floor, this outer sill onto the floor. Might be able to see that hole is right on the inside there. Oh, it is on this one. I've managed to line that up there. But anyway, what that means is there's a slight discrepancy in the angle of the outer sill, and I believe that has made the floor come up very slightly higher. Now I'm going to do my best to pull the floor down to the flitch panel. You can see in there the gap, so I might try and stick one more screw in at an angle here, see if I can pull this plate towards this anymore. Okay, extra tech screws in now. Let's see, so we were at 9.5 or something. Let's try and put that in there now. Difficult because the rubber's in the way. About that. So maybe 6, 5 or 6. So yeah, I've closed that, and then what did we say? This was about 9 when we started, and then it was 8, and now it's 7. So yeah, we've pulled the floor down to the flitch by 2 mil. So that's 20-30% of our problem solved. The rest we're going to have to solve by just having this flitch slightly bent over. In fact, it's bent over reasonably well without cutting it. Just a slight bulge here, very slight though. I'll put the screws in this side and see what happens. That might solve that bulge. Get that all treated in there, and we'll get paint and later wax oil, probably once I've welded it all up so it doesn't catch fire. Right, okay, trying to get this inner wing positioned right, having a bit of a fight with it. Got a couple of spirit levels up there, so if I get the car level, hopefully, not sure if you can see that, but the 2 bubbles are now both flat, or in sync I should say. That's one across the top of the wings and one across the top of the bulkhead. Now the biggest bit I'm trying to line up is the bolt holes for the shock mount. What I've ended up having to do, because these are oversized holes in this, and there's very little way of clamping this panel back towards the bulkhead, so that the holes are out of line. They were too close, or too far forward, you know. So what I've ended up doing is forcing these nuts into these oversized holes. You can see it's in there, and then that lets me put a screwdriver or a drill bit or any, whatever you've got that's the right size for the holes. Then that means I can, hopefully without damaging the threads too much, we're actually quite far through, shouldn't be damaging the threads, I can apply some force, you know. What I've had to do is use a bungee. I've got this under a bit of tension all the way to the back here. I could have done it on here, but I didn't want to start pulling the door frame, because I don't want to misalign the door frame shape, especially since we've got this brace bar disconnected at the minute. We've just taken out the improvised sort of pulling screwdriver and nut, and as you can see we have now got that centralized, and got some welds up here. There's about 5 welds up here, and then there's some welds down here needs finishing off, but confident we can do that now that we've got that centralized. So I'll stick that other nut in there, nut and bolt in there, to pull this panel tight, and then we'll see about making this tight and welding the rest of that up. So yeah, getting there. I think we're ready to weld it all in place. Obviously loads to do all around here, but yeah, I'll show you some footage of that, but not much else to say really. show you a new toy. I finally gave in and planned for an electric file sander, finger sander. This is a Silverline. I think I got it off eBay.